The hits really do keep on coming for Prime Minister Gordon Brown, and the news really isn't getting any better for him. It is front page news on practically every single British newspaper today. The Sun leading with the line, "I quit now, you quit." The words of James Purnell as he bowed out at roughly 10 o'clock last night, and the Daily Mirror has gone with knifed. It is being referred to a growing mutiny by much of the media commentators here in the UK. And very experienced media commentator, our very own Robin Oakley, is with me now. Robin, it's starting to look like the Prime Minister is in very serious trouble.
Yeah, there's no drama quite like political drama, Don, and compared with, well, the mafia are nothing compared with politicians, are they? Gordon Brown is in desperate trouble now, and the key thing about James Purnell, the Work and Pension Secretary, resigning is there is a young, ambitious Cabinet Minister on the way up. His job wasn't at risk like the two who previously resigned. He was a man with a future in front of him, first brought into the Cabinet by Gordon Brown, and here he is saying in his resignation letter that "I believe your continued leadership makes a Conservative victory more, not less likely. That," he says, "would be disastrous for our country. I'm therefore calling on you to give our party a fighting chance of winning by standing aside." Well, that is a direct challenge, and now everybody in the Labour Party has to line up either for Brown or against him.
It is a monumental blow, but Purnell isn't quite a household name here in the UK. There are still some major figures we haven't heard from yet. When are you expecting them to come out of the woodwork and either nail their colours to the mast or not?
Yeah, well, that's the key question, because we've seen some senior figures like Jack Straw, the former Foreign Secretary, crucially David Miliband, the current Foreign Secretary, who was the focus of a previous potential challenge to Gordon Brown a year or so ago. They've come out and supported Gordon Brown and said this is not the time to change the leadership. But what we haven't heard anything from is Alan Johnson. Now, he's the man most people are saying, the Health Secretary, safe pair of hands. If Gordon Brown is pushed out, he's the man most likely to inherit. But of course, he doesn't want to step forward and wield the knife because, you know, he who wields the knife rarely inherits the throne.
That's right. I mean, this has really blown up over the expenses scandal most recently here in the UK, but the sniping really for Gordon Brown has been going on for quite some time, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, almost since he took over as leader, because there were a number of Blairites in the party who resented the way he'd been kind of elbowing Tony Blair all the time Blair was in the top job because Gordon Brown so obviously wanted it. He's always had his enemies. He's always been a man who tended to work with a band of cronies around him, Gordon Brown, although there's a lot of respect for what he did over 10 years as Chancellor. But the key thing that he did wrong was when in the autumn of 2007, and a little while after he became leader, began very well, handling crises well, chance of running an early election. He let the speculation run and then he ran away from that election. And since then, the label of dithering Brown has been attached to him. And you mentioned the expenses row. That has cost him too. He's looked indecisive in tackling the people in his party who got tainted compared with his opponent, David Cameron, leader of the Conservatives.
All right, Robin Oakley, fantastic insight. Thanks very much for bringing us right up to date.